our presenters is Michael Heberle, Chief Marketing Scientist at Kinesso, USA, who will now share more on HVA creation and their powerful impact on audience targeting strategies. Michael.
Thank you, Sharon. And hi, welcome everyone. I'm Michael Heberle at Kinesso, a marketing intelligence company. And I'm going to present to you today about the pursuit of precision, which is all about people-based IDs and overall the topic of mass personalization at scale. And there was a trick of how to advance the slide, but my slide just went to full screen. So what we'll cover, two robust global studies that we've conducted, and big thanks goes to our Magna global media trials team led by Cara Manat and Jonathan Justigs. They have worked hard on all of these studies, very robust across the US, the UK, and India, covering 10 specific client brands across a variety of industry sectors: consumer electronics, CPG, finance, auto, and retail. And pretty robust sample size here, over 22,000 that were split into the relevant parts of the studies. What we do here is on our YouTube platform, we recruit users from the Dynata, actually, representative sample, and select them online, randomize them into test and control sessions, and then they come into the proprietary YouTube environment that we've built in partnership with Google. And there they then get exposed to the different types of advertising messaging, as well as targeting strategies that were behind it. And then we do a post-exposure survey to measure the response. Why is this all important? And the way Sharon introduced that, right, there's a problem with cookies. It's a very general population, as well as they're going away. But they were always just a proxy and really a best guess that would really prevent us to truly test and learn from the experiences that we have, introduce then the promise of people-based ideas about precision, being able to be business outcome focused versus media metrics, and being able to continuously improve the way you do your marketing and get the most out of your investment. So when we set out, we randomized different targeting strategies. One was about utilizing the HVAs, so the high value audiences, and we compared them versus demo targeting, versus contextual targeting, and versus demo and contextual targeting combined. So who are these HVAs? We have the pleasure to own a data stack, the Kinesso audience data stack, that has lots of data, as you might imagine, from television, digital, location, purchase behavior, and psychographics, demographics. And these HVAs are specific personas that the brands that we work with have identified, and we work together to be the part of the population that is most likely to drive the business outcome that we're after. So then these HVAs are created from a big data set. So things like, hey, I'm vegan, I watch a specific HGTV show, I love doing yoga, I have a far distance to drive to work, but I bike every day, right? So there's a fairly rich set of profiles that we can create and then target out. So in this work across the countries, what we found was that when you compare the HVAs, that they drive the purchase intent among your in-market consumers better compared to demo targeting, contextual targeting, or the combination. What was really interesting as well was that you see that little gray line there, historical brand purchases. One of the hardest things in marketing to do is acquire new customers to your brand. And we found that the The high value audiences were excelling specifically in that arena, having the lowest amount of historical brand purchasers, and so being a great way of driving impact and to acquire new customers. What we also saw, though, and that was in the first study, really, despite that strong impact, our HVAs were really critical of ads that were not customized to them. And you see this here in the little colors that on, is the ad relevant to me, addressed a concern I had, or provided new information. And you can actually see the HVA scoring lower against all of these metrics. And it makes sense, right? Like if you're a consumer and you sort of notice, hey, there's a brand that made a lot of effort to target me and I'm in the market for this particular category, then why don't you go the extra step and provide me with a relevant message? So that really led us to defining the second part of the study on personalization, where we used personalization not just for the HVA as a whole, but based on the persona that was created, where we could then vary the call to action, where brands were situated, as well as to make it more contextually relevant in a sense, but in an addressable and automated fashion. So what we then saw there is, right, 28% of the people said from a standard ad that is relevant to me, but when the ad was personalized, we see that increase to 33%. So we're seeing quite an uptick there, which is great to know that personalization works in this context. Taking it a step further, ultimately what we saw was that the HVAs responded especially well to the personalized ads, and adding precision targeting to the precision messaging leads to the best results. So in the teal versus the gray bars, you see the comparison between the HVA target versus the demo target on search intent, purchase intent, as well as brand preference. And we also saw significant increases when utilizing personalization in the context of the HVAs. But then what about then the personalizing messages based on the personas, right? A standard personalization might get you to saying, here's a life event or a certain trigger that we're aware of, past purchase behavior, the location people are in, and the search terms that were utilized. And I think I'm getting a bit of a speed up notion there. Okay, well, let me go to that last page here for a second, the implications. So I think on a call out, really, it's consider HVAs for precision. Powerful asset offering new levels of precision to marketers. And while you do that, you have to customize your message to then arrive at personalization at scale. So thank you, and then back to you, Sharon.
Great, thank you, Michael. A lot of great content to cover there.